I thought he only wanted one request on my birthday. Just one night, one time for his pleasure. But Parkar Dawson. He is my grandpa. He didn't stop there. Every move got harder, every whisper dragged me deeper. Until I couldn't tell where his need ended. And mine began. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. I still remember that night like it's been carved into my skin. Every second of it alive inside me. My birthday had always been the kind of day I didn't expect too much from. A dinner maybe, a glass of wine, some predictable gift wrapped with neat corners. But when the clock ticked toward evening and I walked into the room, I knew this year was going to be different. Parkar Dawson stood there, waiting for me, with that smile that made me forget everything I thought I knew about myself. His eyes followed me the way flames follow dry wood. Hungry, intense, impossible to escape. He leaned in close and whispered, "Happy birthday, Leah. I only have one request tonight, for my pleasure." His voice was low, a dangerous mix of velvet and fire. And I froze for a second, both excited and confused. "What do you mean, one request?" I asked, my laugh shaky as if it might break apart. Parkar Dawson stepped closer, his hand brushing the edge of my waist. Not soft, not tentative, but like he owned the air between us. "Just trust me," he said, his lips grazing my ear. I told myself I'd allow it only this one time. Because it was my birthday. And because something inside me wanted to know what would happen if I gave in. Just once. That was the promise I made to myself. But promises can break faster than glass. The room filled with a tension so thick I could almost taste it. He guided me into the chair like it was part of his script. Every move deliberate, every gesture heavier than words. I watched him waiting, trying to anticipate what he meant by his request. His hand lingered at the base of my neck, firm and unshaking, and my body betrayed me with the way it leaned toward his touch. My heart pounded against my ribs so hard I thought he might hear it. He whispered again, "Just let me make this night mine." I nodded, barely, a single breath of agreement. And from that moment, Parkar Dawson didn't just act like he had permission. He owned it. His eyes didn't leave mine, not for a second. And everything he did carried that sharp edge of suspense. Like we were balancing on the line of something I couldn't predict. I kept waiting for him to stop. For him to remind me this was only one request. Just one night. But with every move, he wanted more. And I felt myself unraveling under the weight of his persistence. I should have pulled back. Should have told him I'd given him enough. But the way he looked at me, like I was the answer to something he had been searching for, kept me anchored. He didn't even try to hide how much he wanted to take more from me. It wasn't roughness. It wasn't cruelty. It was this unrelenting hunger that made me feel both terrified and completely alive. My body betrayed me again, trembling with anticipation each time he leaned in closer. Time blurred. Minutes turned into hours, and I realized he wasn't slowing down. He didn't just want his request. He wanted every part of me. Over and over again. Like the night couldn't satisfy him. I remember pressing my hands against him, meaning to stop him. But my fingers clutched instead, pulling him closer, begging without words for him not to stop. The confusion twisted inside me. I had only agreed for one time, one moment. But here I was giving him more, letting him take more. He whispered my name, over and over, his voice breaking me apart piece by piece, until I couldn't tell where his need ended and mine began. The suspense of every movement, every breath, every glance, dragged me deeper into a place I never thought I'd go. I had thought it would be a gift for him, but it was becoming something for both of us, something larger than either of us could have planned. The night carried on, and every time I thought he'd be satisfied, he wasn't. He'd draw me back in, his hand pulling me closer, his mouth pressing against me like he could drink me in. I lost count of how many times I thought, this has to be the last one. But Parkar Dawson wasn't finished. He didn't want to be finished. And somewhere inside me, I realized I didn't either. By the time the first light of dawn spilled across the window, My body was trembling. My voice raw from the sounds he had pulled out of me. I lay there, staring at him, both furious and fascinated. "You said one request," I whispered, half accusing, half pleading. He smiled, slow and wicked, brushing his thumb across my lips like he knew I'd never forget what he'd done to me. "One request," he murmured. "But you gave me more. You wanted more too." I hated that he was right. My heart was pounding still, my body aching in ways that felt both unbearable and addictive. He had taken everything from me that night. My restraint, my promises, my carefully drawn lines. And yet, all I wanted was to feel that same intensity again. It wasn't just about his pleasure anymore. Somewhere between his first move and his last, it had become about us. About the way we fit together. About the dangerous, magnetic pull I couldn't resist. I had gone into the night believing I would give him one moment, one chance. But Parkar Dawson didn't let me go after that. He didn't want just one request. He wanted all of me more and more. Until the word enough had lost its meaning. And when I finally closed my eyes, exhausted and shaken, the only thought left in me was terrifying and thrilling at the same time. I wanted more too.